on chapter Tzaddik Daled. And we learned a little bit about the laws of what we call not bar not, a taste that is born of a taste. And we learned a little bit about chaticha naset navela, that if meat touches cheese, it makes the whole thing forbidden. But if meat touches, let's say, a potato, it doesn't make it totally meaty. Right? It just means that there's a potato with meat inside. Remember, we learned that yesterday. Let's do law number Zion. Law number 7. We're on chapter Tzaddik Daled, which in English means 94. And we're on law number 7. What is this? Wow, this is pretty good. Yes. Post-purchase matters. Very good. Oh, here we go. Tzaddik Daled. See Tzaddik Daled? Toch of Kav, there's where we are. Straight. Hit it. There we go. Very good. Chat, law number Zion. Go down. Down, law number Zion. There's law number Gimel. Daled. There it is. Law number Zion. That's it. Okay, now if you're really serious, you become serious and you want to get smicha, you want to learn these laws. So what we're doing here is giving a very brief overview. I guess as far as overviews goes, this is not a brief overview, but it's an overview. In other words, this is we're skimming the surface, but we're skimming almost every surface. So here we go. Ready? I'll read it from here. Let me move the camera over here. There we go. We got our camera. And basar roteach, boiling hot meat. Shetachvu besakin, shechatchu besakin choleves, that you cut with a milchik knife. Kol achaticha asura, the whole piece could become forbidden. It's boiling hot meat now. Kol, the whole piece becomes forbidden. Im ein boshishim, if it has not got 60, keneged makom asakin, against that part of the knife, shechatach abasar, that you cut the meat with. Right? Let's say you have a meat cleaver that's like that high. Right here you have a meat cleaver that's this high. This is the meat cleaver. Here it is. And it's got a handle on it. Let's put the handle on the meat cleaver. Here we go. 1 second. I will. We have here. Here, we got a handle on the meat cleaver, right? Here's the handle. Here's the meat cleaver. And now you're going to, this is a totally fleshik meat cleaver. That's what's happening? Yes. No. A totally milchik meat cleaver. What does it mean? How can the milk cleaver be milchik? How can it be milchik? So it's brand new, a brand new meat cleaver, brand new, and it fell into a pot of boiling milk. Good? Fell into a pot of boiling milk. The servant dropped it in by accident, and he took it out and he washed it off. You have no idea. Now you take this piece, you take this milchika knife, and you cut a piece of boiling hot meat with it. Chunk. Where's the piece? Here we go. Here's the meat. Here is the meat, and you cut the meat with the cleaver. How much of this meat touched the cleaver? Well, let's say this much. That much. Up to here. And not only the whole thing, not the whole thing. Let's just say up to here. Let's say you cut a piece of meat. It's like this, and you cut it. Chunk like that much, right? So only this much of the piece. Now you measure that, the metal. How much metal is in that piece of that milchika knife that you cut the meat with? How much? Well, that's how much you have to have 60 against that part of the knife.
In weight or in volume, in size?
In volume. Okay, so again, you take a knife and you use that knife to cut a piece of, a milchika knife to cut a piece of boiling hot meat. You sliced right through it, and only, let's say, 1 ounce of that knife really touched the meat. Went all the way through, touched the meat. So again, you have basar roteach, boiling hot meat, shechatchu b'sakin cholevet, that you cut with a milchika knife. Kol hachaticha asur, the whole entire piece becomes forbidden if you don't have 60 in it against mako masakin, the place of that knife that you cut the meat with. Avol im eino ben yoma, but if that knife fell into the boiling hot milk more than 1 day ago, more than 24 hours ago, now that milchika knife is impotent. Oh, even eino yodea, even if you don't know that it is, it's a suffix, a doubt, if it is within, that knife became milchik within 1 day or not. Eino asur, it only makes forbidden kadei klipa. Only asur kadei klipa. Now here we have a new term that we haven't used before. Kadei klipa means it makes it forbidden only one, what do you call it? A shell. Kadei klipa. What's it mean, kadei klipa? It means you have now this big piece of meat that you cut, right? And the servant comes running and says, oh no, you cut that piece of meat with a milchaka knife. You can't do it. So he says, okay, when did you use this knife? When did you use the knife? It fell into the milk 2 days ago. He says, okay, there's a supposition that all knives are dirty. So therefore we'll say that probably maybe there's a little bit of milk caked on the outside. That caked on the outside, we're going to learn about this in chapter 103. Milk that's caked on the outside, most opinions say that does not affected by the 1 day law, the 24-hour law. So the milk that's caked on the outside, that's always potent, but it only has the power to make forbidden kadei klipa. Kadei klipa. It doesn't have the power to spread out more than that. So there says maybe it made the
That's just everybody also is just the rabbi's frozen.
Yeah, the rabbi's frozen. The knife's not frozen though.
He'll be back.
What's the 1 day? If it's longer than 1 day, then it's. Give me the 1 day 24-hour rule again. While we're waiting, can anyone give me the 24-hour rule?
I am.
What's the 24-hour rule?
If it's more than 24 hours when it was in contact with the hot milk,
Yes.
then it loses its power to
make it also, it loses its.
make it all fresh. What you have to do is
So if it's within the 24 hours, then it's definitely got the power to be traced.
yeah.
But if it's outside of the 24 hours, it hasn't got that.
Against the volume of the knife that touched the meat.
Okay.
But if it was more than a day old,
Right.
the knife it didn't touch milk within 24 hours. And then the only thing that makes forbidden is I think the both ends that were cut. So you got to cut off what's known as klipa, which is a little bit of the ends.
You shave off a centimeter on each side of where the knife cut through.
Right.
You know what they're saying? That's like a shell.
Yes.
And then the rest of the meat becomes, that's
Okay.
really okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I hope that's right.
Let's see. No, it happens sometimes that you take a mochik knife by mistake and you cut through a burger or a steak. You know what is the situation there? First of all, you got to go to 1/60th. Secondly, it's a mochik knife. Then you got to consider the 24 hours. It's not like it was a fleischer knife before. So let's say anyway, that's a whole nother story, because that's the more common mistake, I would think, is that you somehow not concentrating and you grab the wrong knife and you figure it out as you cut through the piece of meat. And then practically, what do? Is the meat, do you measure it up against the 60th? Do you measure it up against whether you can tell whether you used it in the 24 hours or not? What do you do with the knife afterwards? What do you do? Oh, okay. So you rinse it. My wife says rinse it in cold water, leave it for 24 hours, and then boil it.
No. It has to be. I think if you bury it in the ground or something, stick it in the ground for 2 times.
No. Okay. Let's see this also, Rabbi. 24 hours cold water rinsed and then boiling it. Okay. We try to.
You can boil it.
Your information. Oh, well, what's the rule? He'll give us the.
You can kosher it with boiling water.
The knife, yeah. Right. That's what I've heard.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right, is that good enough for now? We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Do you have any questions? Do you have questions?
Rob, can I ask a quick question? If you take, let's say this is a common mistake. Let's say you take by mistake you take a mochik knife. You don't know when last it was used, and you cut the steak, and you realize as you're cutting through the steak that you've used this mochik knife. What happens to the piece of meat? You're not really sure whether it was used in 24 hours, but let's assume it wasn't. And then what happens to the knife?
Okay, listen, usually knives are not milchik. In order for the knife to be milchik, you have to have used it in boiling milk or boiling cheese.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you could find a thing like that with a really hot pizza. Could be.
Okay.
Could be if you took a pizza out of the oven and it was directly cooked and the cheese was like really hot. But usually by the time you get to cutting it, it's not that hot anymore. You know, that it makes it forbidden. So that sort of goes away the problem. It sort of takes away the problem. You know, but on the other hand, if it was really a milchik knife, it probably is dirty. And because it's dirty, and if the meat was hot when you cut it, so that makes the meat, you'll have to take off a little bit from those sides of the meat, the new face of the meat that was made by cutting. You have to take like a shearing, you shear it away.
Yes.
That's what you have to do. And the knife just wash off.
You wash off and the knife you wash off.
Which knife do you use to shear it off now? Do you use a fleischer knife to shear it off?
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, because
then that knife is fine.
Yeah, it's not really forbidden. I mean, the meat is forbidden.
And to make the mochik knife kosher,
you can wait for the meat to cool off if you want to. What?
To make that knife, that call it the mochik knife, or even if it wasn't, really boiling, but it was a knife that was you rinse it and you leave it for 24 hours and then boil it.
Yeah. Okay. Now you have a little bit of a problem with a knife. You know, you wash the meat off, wash the knife off. It's true. If you're going to use that knife only for cold things, then good. But that knife has become a little bit forbidden because it cut through meat and you were pushing it. That's what's called dochaka de sakina. You're pushing the knife into the meat, so the meat has the power to make the knife fleishik.
Right.
Fleishik. So you'll have to kosher the knife. If you want to use it for hot cheese or whatever, you'll have to So
you got to kosher. So you got to leave 24 hours and then put it in a boil and then boil it.
Better. Okay. Listen. The thing about 24 hours, if you
Yes.
want to do hagalas keli, you want to make a keli kosher.
Yes.
So the reason that they say you have to wait for 24 hours is that you're worried that the taste that's inside of that knife, the forbidden taste, if it's you're koshering it for Pesach, the chometz
Yeah.
taste, whatever, will go into the water, and there won't be 60 in the water against that taste.
Oh, okay. In the
Therefore,
pot that
if
you're
you
boiling,
leave it-
kashering it.
If you
Okay.
leave it for one full day, then the taste that comes out is not a forbidden taste anymore.
Okay.
I mean, it's not forbidden anymore, right? It's a bad taste, and that bad taste is not forbidden anymore. So even though you can't use it, but you can't use it lechatchila. But if you do use it, it's not forbidden because Therefore, they say leave all of your vessels for one full day. Then the taste which is inside is only forbidden if you use the vessels, but not before you use them. In other words, the vessels are. I'm sorry. The other way around. The taste that's in the vessels is only forbidden before you use it, but not after you use it, because it's a weak. It's like an old taste. An old taste is not forbidden anymore. So therefore, they say leave the vessels for 24 hours. Then when you do hagala, you don't have to worry about having 60 in the water against it, because the taste that comes out is a not good taste anyway. So if you're just doing one little thing like a knife, so you don't have to worry so much about it being one day. But you're right. In general, when you do kosher kalim vessels, you have to leave them for one day. It's a general principle.
Okay.
When you want to kosher a keli, not all vessels can be kosher. If those that can be kosher, metal vessels, whatever, you should leave it for a day, and you have to wash it very, very well, like you want to sell it. Get rid of every speck of dirt that's on it, and then you can do kosher. You can do kosher. By the way, if you want to kosher your vessels, you put them into boiling water. You can just even for a couple of seconds till the water goes up, boil bubbles, and you have to immediately put it into cold. The vessel that you want to kosher. Okay, rabbis, have a good day. Meet you tomorrow at 8:15.